Hi guys, welcome to our 6th episode on ACAST. Oh, Nikki, you're so fine. You're so fine. You blow my mind.
Hey, Nikki.
I'm your host, Jamie, and we are here at A-Star Studios. So for those of you who tuned into ACAST for the first time or are not familiar with AZIATIX yet, ACAST is a time for the fans to get to know AZIATIX and for AZIATIX to get to know their fans. And we've been featuring a special on each of the members of AZIATIX the past month, and we are on our last special featuring Nikki. So hi, Nikki.
Hi, Jamie. You look so pretty today as always.
Thank you. So for our listeners out there who don't know Nikki very well yet, Nikki has actually been in the Mando pop industry for more than 10 years now. And he goes by the name Lee Jo-ze. Is that good?
That's great. Lee Jo-ze.
And yes, Nikki is Korean American, everybody. A lot of people ask me, is AZIATIX Korean? Yes, they're all Korean. But in Taiwan, he put out 5 albums already and won the Best Mandarin Singer for his second album, Baby It's Me, in 2007 at the Golden Melody Awards. And all of you know producer Jae Chung behind AZIATIX and former member of the hit R&B group Solid in Korea. And he's been working with Nikki for 20 years?
20 years? That makes me sound super old. Yeah, we started working when I was 5, so yeah, 25.
Really?
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay. So he's also here with us today. So hello, Jay.
Hello.
Thank you for coming
Hi,
again.
Thank you for inviting me again.
So Nikki and Jay, I'd like to talk more about how the journey began. And you guys have a long history together. So how did you two meet?
Oh, was that a hometown buffet? Just kidding. No, we actually met pretty close, actually, right? Denny's.
It was at the parking lot of Denny's.
I actually met Nikki through a friend of mine that I knew from church. He said, hey, there's this kid that knows how to sing, you know. You want to go meet him? I said, sure, you know. At the time, I was trying to put a group together. So, like, we just decided to meet at Denny's, you know, of all places. Yeah. And then he walked in.
And this was when?
This was like 96, 97.
Oh,
97.
Wow.
Yeah, end of 97, I think.
Okay.
You know, to be honest, I think at the time, I don't know what I was really looking for. I think I was looking for a good singer more than anything.
Right.
So, you know, like, you know, he looked like Spanky from Little Rascal, but, you know, I thought it was, hey, yeah, you know, let me hear you sing, you know. So he busted out his demo tape. Right, so it was like a cassette back then.
Yeah, it was cassette.
Yeah. So I heard that song. Yeah, he sings all right, you know.
All right.
And then you're in, man.
Wait, and you were how old
then?
No,
it wasn't that easy, you know.
Right. But you were.
I was like 16 at that time.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was so nervous because, you know, Big Brother Jay, he's like a superstar, solid, man. Right. You know, sell millions and millions of albums, and you come meet me at the parking lot of Denny's. That just doesn't happen overnight. So I'm like, wow. And I put on my best clothes, you know, try to look real sharp.
But you look like Spanky.
But I look like Spanky, you know. Ended up looking like Spanky anyway.
Got the best Dockers on.
And then I went over there, and then, you know, I played on my demo tape, and I sang for him, and then he's like, yeah, okay, I'll get back to you. And a few months go by, and I don't get a call. I'm like, what's going on? Am I in? Am I not in? And then finally he told me, okay, pack your bags, you know, let's go to Korea and record.
So is that when you were in the group Voice in 98? Is that how that transitioned?
They got to release their first album back in 98?
Yeah.
Actually, first and only album.
What happened?
It was a really unique situation. Like, we had a song called 너만의 천사가 돼요, which had very good response. You know, like before they hit the mainstream airwaves. It actually went to like number 4 on the Mnet charts, and or like, you know, the MTV charts out here, and you know, at the time we didn't have internet, but we were considered viral for that generation. I guess it was like the first order of the CDs were like pretty high, so like everybody at the company was like, "This is it, this is it." So like, you know, so the managers went out, you know, basically booked them into like every major show in Korea.
Oh wow!
Right? And as soon as they showed their face on TV, the sales just stopped.
I mean, you know,
yeah, I think
are
you know,
serious?
I'm dead serious.
He's dead serious.
Right?
He's like joking, man.
It was. I mean, you know, like I tell people, you know, like these are certain things you got to experience, you know, to really know what it's like to
try to make it.
Try to make it. Yeah, there's you know, success stories and there's failures, and you learn from both, right?
I was devastated,
right?
Because it was senior year of my high school, and I got offered this, record deal. I was like, wow, this is it. I'm gonna be a singer. I'm gonna buy a big old house for my parents, and we're gonna be great. And then right after the TV shows, the boss was like, okay, guys, thanks, good try, but sorry it didn't work out. You guys go back home. I was like,
so that was it? They just sent you back home?
That was pretty much it.
And plus, back then, it's not like K-pop now where everybody's getting trained for like 7-8 years before they come out. It was we had 3 kids from America, and their Korean was very limited. And we met at Denny's, and 2 months later, he had an album.
And that was the end of that. Yeah.
So when that ended, and Nicky, you're saying that you were very devastated after that. What was your next step in your career?
What was my next step? I honestly didn't know. I was like, what am I going to do? But all I knew is I wanted to sing.
Right.
And, after Voice, we were originally supposed to make another record. But Eddie's outside doing his...
Oh, my God.
He's doing the Gangnam Style
dance.
Oh, no.
Scary.
Oh, no. We need a picture of this. It's online now, buddy.
We need a video of that.
Yeah, we need a video of that.
Oh my gosh.
That was awesome. So I went back to the States. I didn't know what to do. All I did was find Big Brother Jay. He was always working. So I was like, is it cool if I come over? And he was like, yeah, come over.
He literally, besides like nighttime when we're sleeping, he would be at our house like every day practically.
So when I was at his house, he would teach me about songwriting, teach me about the music business. He was being a big brother and a big mentor at that time.
So he really took you under his wing after The Voice.
After Voice. He didn't have to, but he opened up his heart. He opened up his house.
I think like living in the States, I always needed somebody to kind of not necessarily collab with, but more like talk about music and vibe with. Yeah, so he used to come and like write some songs with me, and then help clean the studio. And, like
yeah, I heard that.
Yeah. Was that hard? We had a few incidents where we had some backed up toilets and stuff like that. But we'll leave that out for.
We'll leave it out
because we gotta protect the innocent.
Yeah, protect the innocent.
So Nicky, when you were going through all that and preparing or going through like a dry spell, I guess, in your career, what kept you going?
I guess it's just for the love of music. Ever since I was a kid, all I wanted to do was sing and make music. Ever since probably about 5, when I saw like Michael Jackson on television, and in my heart, all I wanted to do was bring joy to people with our music, So that's what kept me throughout all the hard times.
So it's the natural passion in you that just kept you going.
Yeah.
And so why Mandopop? How did that come about?
Me and one of my best friends, his name's Jeffrey Huang, from old group called LA Boys. He sort of helped me start my career back in the early 90s. And then we became very good friends. In 2003, we started a company called Machi Entertainment in Taiwan. And at the time, Nicky was just sort of like he had the most musical knowledge out of the group, except he didn't speak any Mandarin at the time. So we're like, what can we do with this guy, right? and I couldn't physically be in Taiwan. So I said, hey, Nicky, can you go and help Jeff with anything, related to music? So he went out there, and then he worked sort of like a hype man for the group. Kind of jumping around in the back, yelling and stuff. And then, about a year and a half, 2 years in, he was pretty fluent in Mandarin.
Crazy.
And then at the time, the funny thing was, I think we presented him to like almost every record label in Taiwan, and everybody said no.
Because he can...
Well, at first, he couldn't speak Mandarin, and he didn't have like that, the
look they're looking for.
Yeah, the look they're looking for, and it's just a lot of things. So, so we're like, hey, okay, then we'll just do it ourselves. And then we produced the album, we put it out, and it was a huge hit, right? I mean, and that's sort of a message to everybody, like sometimes before success comes, you might encounter thousands of rejections.
Yeah.
And that really doesn't matter,
Yeah.
And sometimes it's like a essential like necessity to get to where you need to go.
Yes.
Machi baby.
And then you went on to win the Best Mandarin Singer for your second album, Baby It's Me, in 2007 at the Golden Melody Awards.
Baby Suo.
Can you sing a little bit from that album?
From that album?
Us?
Yeah, well, I mean, that album, the title track on that album was called 我会好好过. Yeah, I'll sing a little piece.
Thank you.
我会好好过，等你再爱我，总有个角落 会让你想起我。Thank you. 谢谢，我爱你们。
You have a really sexy voice.
Thank you, Jamie. Well, so do you.
So what made you transition then into this group? You've already sort of made it in your career. So how did this, or why did you decide to start this whole AZIATIX thing?
I mean, it's always been a dream of mine just to make music that transcends all language barriers and all cultures and color lines. And this chance to work with AZIATIX gave me the chance to do music that can do that. So that's my main reason.
Yeah, I mean, I think, the whole idea of AZIATIX, I think for me personally came when I was working with Nicky and Machi in Taiwan.
Oh, okay.
We got to travel to a lot of different countries, Singapore, the Philippines, all over the place. And we realized, hey, there's a lot of Asian countries out here that speak English and that could understand English. And, for the most part, I think that was the biggest obstacle for a lot of Asian artists was the language barrier. So, obviously, that's what I wanted to do because all three guys are from the U.S. and they're very talented. I didn't want to be limited to just like localizing our music to a certain area. And I think that's sort of the thing with Nicky too because he's he's trilingual. I mean he could do so much with music. So and I brought Nicky on board. It was a big sacrifice for Nicky. I mean he had the comfort of being a mega superstar in Taiwan and in the Mando pop world. I think success comes with sacrifice.
Right.
And I told him, hey, it's not going to be easy. Imagine yourself starting all over again.
Right.
We're going back to 2003, right? But I think not just Nicky, but myself, everybody. The great thing is none of us were really in it for the money.
Yeah. Right.
I think Nicky's the same way. So he's like, hey, let's do it. Yeah. And I think when you have the right mindset for music, then the results will follow. Will follow. I think our philosophy was correct from day one. So
I mean that's something that Big Brother Jay said to me when I started back when I was like 16. He was like, don't ever do music because of the money or the fame. Because money or the fame, it can be gone. Snap of your fingers, it's gone.
And you experienced that with voice too.
Yeah, and I experienced that. So he was like, always do music because you sincerely love music.
And you do.
And I do. And that's I hold that first in my heart too. So yeah, it's a very good message that he told me, how many years ago.
That's a great way to start working without having to pay him. It's got to be free, right?
Yeah.
This is all for free, you know that, right?
And Jay, I just wanted to ask you, since you probably know Nicky the most out of everyone at A-Star, how would you describe Nicky's personality? Or what type of person is he?
Nicky, obviously he's very funny, but at the same time, he's I think he's very wise for his age. Perhaps because he started very young. I mean, he's had success, he's had failures, and he knows what it feels like to experience both at a very young age, which is very fortunate,
Because he handles it well.
Yeah.
He could have been like a wreck too, like some other younger.
Or I think, sometimes, God works in mysterious ways, Like, if he really blew up when he was 17 years old, maybe his ego would have went through the roof. I don't know.
It could have.
Maybe.
Definitely.
Maybe he wouldn't talk to us after that. Certain experiences humble you, right? Yeah. And I think, he's a very humble guy, very nice guy, and he's very caring, and I think that's the key thing,
So Nicky, you are the person that people do see on camera too. That happy, caring, likable character. You really are like that.
Yeah.
It's not like an act. Because so many fans ask us like, what are they really like?
Yeah.
But he really is like that.
I am.
So
Jay, is there anything you want to say before you leave us today?
Is that it? No, okay. Yeah, I think we have a lot of good things planned for AZIATIX.
Yes.
But
stay tuned.
Yeah, so there's gonna be a lot of exciting big news coming up soon.
Yes.
And I think Nicky and the AZIATIX crew and A-Star family are very excited.
Yes.
Very excited.
Keep loving AZIATIX, and then Nicky's gonna do his thing all the time. Yeah. I'm really waiting for Nicky's new Mandarin album as well.
Oh yeah, can you give us
we're
some
working on it.
announcements on that?
Oh, we're working on it. I know the fans have been asking,
Right.
and I'm still working on it. Me and Big Brother Jay, we're still working on it. So
is there like a time frame, general time frame?
Is there real soon?
Okay.
Yeah, I said that this last whole year, but yeah, real soon.
Okay, so fans look out for that.
Oh yeah, and for those of you who don't know, Nicky made a small cameo on a new film by Machi.
Yeah.
So it's some action hero movie, but
Yeah.
It's Big Brother Jess movie.
and that's not the first movie you done. Right?
Mulan.
And I know all the Asiatics out there, you guys. If you can find a clip of Nicky in Mulan and post it on Facebook, I'm gonna like it 100 times.
I would like to see that too, the Mulan
Oh man,
one.
I don't know if you can find that though.
So thank you, Jay, for being with us today.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you for inviting me upstairs.
And after the break, we'll come back with some questions from the fans.